A Mochi moment from Sadie, who writes, I'm not crying, you're crying. This is what I said during my first appointment with my physician at Mochi, because I didn't have to convince him I needed a GLP-1. He understood, and I felt supported, not judged. I came for the weight loss and stayed for the empathy. Thanks, Sadie. I'm Myra Ahmed, founder of Mochi Health. To find your Mochi moment, visit joinmochi.com.
Sadie is a Mochi member compensated for her story.
You're not overreacting. You're healing in a system that was never built for your complexity, and that makes you a damn warrior. If you're doing the hard work of rebuilding trust with your body after medical trauma, know that you're not alone in that messy middle. I'm right there with you. Hey, beautiful soul, and welcome to Dear Body, I'm Listening, the podcast for women navigating chronic symptoms, invisible illness, and that daily dance between hope and exhaustion. If you've ever been told it's all in your head, well, this podcast is for you because your body is not lying and neither are you. Hi, I'm Donna Piper, movement therapist, Pilates instructor, and chronic illness navigator. After years of being dismissed, misdiagnosed, and doing everything quote unquote right, but still getting sicker, I created this space to tell our truth. Here we talk about swelling, brain fog, nervous system crashes, and the kind of symptoms that don't always show up on lab results. We're going to explore lymph, breath, movement, self-trust, latest research, books, relationships, basically everything. All from a place of compassion and honesty. This isn't about fixing your body. It's about finally being heard and getting some answers. Hey, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Dear Body, I'm Listening. The place where your symptoms aren't ignored, your spirit isn't bypassed, and your truth doesn't need to be polished to be powerful. Today, we're talking about a kind of trauma that rarely gets the tenderness it deserves. Medical trauma. If your heart races at the thought of a doctor's office, if you've ever sobbed in the car after a 5-minute appointment, if you've ever left a medical space feeling smaller than you walked in, you're not overreacting. You're reacting to harm. The episode is for anyone who's ever been dismissed, misdiagnosed, or told everything looks fine while your body screamed otherwise. Let's unpack what it means to be hurt by the very system that is meant to help you and how to start healing from it. So let's get into today's Real Talk recap. When the exam room becomes a battlefield. Let's get real. For many of us with chronic illnesses, medical trauma isn't an isolated horror story. It's systematic, it's repetitive, and it's invisible to everyone but us. The moment when I sat across from a provider and said, I'm in pain, and they replied, your labs are fine, as if numbers on a page knew more about my lived experience than I did. I've been told I was just anxious. I've been told to lose weight, or my symptoms weren't going to change unless I changed my dietary habits. I had procedures pushed on me. I've had my pain dismissed. My knowledge of my own body has been questioned over and over, and each time a little part of me started to believe them. Maybe I am being dramatic. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe it is I'm just tired. Maybe I do need to push through. No, what I needed, what we needed and need, was to be heard and is to be heard, to be witnessed. To be treated like humans, like we know our bodies and we're not making anything up, and just not check boxes. So if you flinch at white coats, dread follow-ups, or have panic attacks in waiting rooms, your nervous system is remembering what your mind is suppressing. That deserves healing, not shame. So how do we even begin to process this kind of harm, especially when we still need care? Let's start by busting one of the biggest lies we've been told. Myth buster moment. It's not real trauma. Let's bust this garbage myth. Medical trauma isn't real unless you were physically harmed or hospitalized. False. False with a capital F. Here's what trauma really is. An experience that overwhelms your nervous system's ability to cope. That's it. Being talked down to, being misdiagnosed for years and blamed for not healing, being told that what you are telling the provider can't be true because it doesn't fit in with your other symptoms or your labs. These are all traumas. They might not leave visible scars, but impact how safe you feel in your body, in your voice, and in your future healthcare interactions. And for people in marginalized bodies, fat bodies, disabled bodies, chronically ill bodies, the trauma is often compounded by bias and neglect. And it's not malice. It's just either it's not in their wheelhouse, they haven't been exposed to it, they haven't been taught it. So most of them just, if it's not something they know, then they don't wrap their hand about wanting to know it. They're busy, they're overwhelmed. But you don't need a diagnosis to validate your trauma and your medical trauma and your interactions with medical providers. If your body says it was traumatic, believe her. That's your truth. That's your data. That's your doorway into healing. Trauma isn't something that you wear like a badge, have it forever. It's just your body was overwhelmed. It hasn't processed what it needs to. And the body is smart. It wants to protect you and keep you alive. So these situations where you haven't felt safe, your body doesn't want to go back into them, right? So we create behaviors and feelings around this. So we don't have to carry it forever. In addition to everything else, we just want to look for a way to start to re-regulate our body so we're not carrying that. So when we do go into doctors' offices to have to retell our story or convince medical systems like healthcare systems that are going to either say yes and approve our scripts for compression or pumps or lipedema fat removal, all of those things, we don't want to also have to feel that there's always this, we're going to get denied, it's going to be torturous, because we have to use our voices, we have to advocate for ourselves. So in today's Feel Good Flow, we're going to start to unwind that trauma and get back to your body. So let's rebuild some body safety. And this is just coming back to your body, not through force, but through gentleness. So try this practice when you're in a space where you're not driving or operating any heavy equipment or doing anything that is distracting. You want to lie and sit down into a nice, comfortable position. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your lower belly. Take in a deep breath, hold it, and then exhale through closed lips like you're blowing out a candle. And repeat this slowly 3 more times. Take an in breath, hold, and blow out your exhale. 2 more times, inhaling, maybe holding a little bit longer, breathing in a little bit deeper. And then as you blow out that candle, as you exhale, really make sure you kind of get all the breath out this time. And one last time, inhale, fill up your whole body. Hold for as long as you can and really exhale it all out. Every little last bit of breath and air, and then just begin to breathe normally. Now whisper to yourself, either out loud or in your mind's eye, I believe what I felt. I believe what I feel now. Again, I believe what I felt, and I believe what I feel now. Let the truth of that echo through places that were silenced and interactions that made you feel dismissed, small, embarrassed, and really started to turn your own experiences against you. Keep doing this for as long as you need. Breathe into those places and spaces. First, you need to believe yourself, and then let go what other people believed or did or didn't believe. Let the truth of that echo again through the spaces that were silenced. This is how we begin to rewire our nervous system, one moment of belief at a time. So if this episode hit a nerve, I want you to know you're not too sensitive. You're not overreacting. You're healing in a system that was never built for your complexity, and that makes you a damn warrior. If you're doing the hard work of rebuilding trust with your body after medical trauma, know that you're not alone in that messy middle. I'm right there with you. If this resonated, share it with a friend. Let's normalize naming the pain without being entangled into labels of being traumatized. Just know that when trauma happens, we can find simple ways to alleviate it so we can continue showing up, getting the help that we need from providers that we need, because we still need help with the medical system, whether it's to get blood work or to make sure that our approvals are going through for what we need to manage our lipedema, or even to get surgery. So if you'd like to connect with me, you can email me at donna@donnapiper.com and ask me any questions. I have a website, donnapiper.com, where I have resources that won't gaslight you. And if you're on Instagram, you can connect with me over there at the Donna Piper. So until next week, be gentle with yourselves, deep breathe, know that you're telling the truth, start to believe yourself again, gather that energy to go to your next medical appointments with the belief that you'll be heard. You can be heard, and it may take some time, but you can really get your medical team on your side. And until next week, take a deep breath, trust your body, and remember, you don't have to explain your pain to earn compassion. See you. If this episode made you feel even more seen, brought you clarity, or reminded you that you're not alone, please take a moment to rate, review, and send it to someone who needs that same reminder. You can find more tools, blog posts, and support over at donnapiper.com. And hey, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Got a question for me? Every month I do a listener coaching episode, and I'd love to hear from you. Send your questions, stories, or flare-up confessions to donna@donnapiper.com. And you just might hear your answer on the show. Until next time, dear body, I'm listening, and I am so glad that you are here.